Coach Steve Leinert of the Phoenix.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Good to have you up here, my friend.
This is going to be a fun day. Beautiful day out here. Beautiful day.
80 degrees. We've got about a half hour later than originally scheduled. And we have the coin toss going on in the center of the field right now to determine who's pulling and receiving. I'm going to let Steve take care of that while I finish with the roster for the Outlaws here.
It looks like Nikki Spiva, Trey Katzenbach, and Matt Esser are the captains out there for the Phoenix, and waiting for the JB Harrington to show us who will be pulling to start the game here today. There's some handshaking, so it's clearly it's been decided.
Looks like the Phoenix are pulling because Esser's holding the disc, or is that not the case?
Yeah.
Hard to tell. I can usually rely on Dan Moraski to give us
some kind of signal
sign there, yeah, but it'll be evident in just a moment. I watched the end of the game yesterday between Ottawa and New York, which the Empire won by 1, holding on to the disc late as the Outlaws tried to come back from a 2-goal deficit. They were able to get one of them, but with 24 seconds left, not the other. So they are 0-1 on this little road trip and looking for a little redemption today, I'm sure.
And the parity in this division this year it's so good to see. You know what I mean? That everybody's very competitive, and this should be no different here today. I mean, these two teams are pretty evenly matched, and you know a few of their games have come down to the wire, or at least late fourth quarter till things have been decided. So let's see if the Phoenix can get one here at home today.
I'm hopeful, and as I've been saying this, Steve, since the beginning of the season, that the scores are often not really indicative of the talent levels of the two teams. And Coach Eileen Murray said last week that she is hopeful and still thinks that the Phoenix have not played to their potential, so that we will see that get better and better every week. I believe she's still off at Beach Worlds, is that right?
She was at Beach Worlds, and Trey Katzenbach is also back from Beach Worlds.
Oh, okay.
Winning a gold medal with the mixed masters, I believe. I could be
no
mistaken,
kidding.
But just adding to the treasure trove of gold medals for
accolades. Yeah, it's not surprising for
Mr.
Trey.
Katzenbach, no question.
Sure is not.
Now the Phoenix looks like they are going to be pulling to start the game here. They're standing on the goal line, holding the disc. So I'm going to go out on a little limb here and say the Phoenix are going to start this game on defense here. Let's see if Esser is going to get a break block here for us. Get us going on the right foot here.
See how that O-line compares to last week. We've got
Rosso's out there. Kind of hard to see.
Greg Martin, it looks like, I think, in the middle, or no, that's Steve Rosso I'm just seeing in the middle.
Yeah, Esser's out there.
Who's holding the disc? It looks also like 29, is that? 20, it's not, is it Trey? No, Trey's not out.
Trey's on the sideline.
I think, Christian Vanny, I don't know who I see there on the...
Alright, so we have the Phoenix in red here, and the Ottawa Outlaws in their white uniforms, and gray pants with white numbers. Charlie Patton, Steve Ing out there for the Phoenix on the D-line to start. Here we go.
All right, just in time. Ottawa comes out to their 10, They're 5 actually. And that's Andrew Achterley hucking it long down the sideline.
That was beautiful.
To number 16, Laurent Loiseau, one of the captains of the Outlaws. Guarded by Steve Rosso. Yeah. Ooh, over the middle. Rosso almost poached that.
On the doorstep for Ottawa here.
And Jeremy Hill, who had a big game yesterday too, against Ottawa, swings it back, and they get their first goal. That is Cooper Brotman throwing the assist.
A little break mark, bendy flick into the teeth of the little wind down there for an easy goal out the space for Ottawa.
And who caught that? The throwers' numbers are not the receivers. For the goal. Nicky Spiva. Brownlee holding the disc. Sean Mott making his first appearance, I believe. And disc is caught at the goal line up to the 15. That's Scott Westwell. Comes over to this side to Laurent Loiseau again. Back to Westwell. Marked by Charlie Patton. Marquez on a big huck. Oh! Oh! Yes! Oh! Oh! Just got that before colliding with the offensive player. Oh my goodness.
Great trailing edge defense D by the Phoenix. And just a big collision.
That's Aaron Roberts who took the shot there. And what a play he made. Oh my goodness. Got the D on it, but paid a big price.
It looks like they called a foul.
Yeah. Well, he got it just before the contact, but I think they're going to go with he had to make the contact to get it. So, and since the receiver was basically standing still or holding position, I think it's going to be a hard. You want to give Aaron a D on that, but if you don't get the disc,
I don't know.
Marquez on the mark.
It looked like he got there first.
And that is number 43, Andrew Achterley, with the assist to 89. Is that Nick Boucher? I think he's wearing the right number today. A nice play for Ottawa.
I guess they called a dangerous.
Very quickly, we're out to a 2-1 lead here.
I guess they called a dangerous play on Aaron there, but
yeah.
He definitely got the back end of that disc first before the collision happened, and I don't know if that was a little bit of incidental contact or not, but not that I'm questioning the referee's call there, but
waiting on offense, we have Trey Katzenbach, Quinn Hunsaker, Nicky Spiva, looks like Sean Mott, Ryan Forster, Paul Klimkowski, and good old Will Haney. Will Honey is out there, so we've got a little bit of a Pensbury connection going on for this point, 4 of them. Nicky blasts it long to Sean Mott, but his defender is actually out in front of him. And Mott he catches that disc. Yes, he does. Nice play from Nicky Spiva. The assist to Sean Mott on a MAC'd D by the Outlaws. That is one of those pretty catches that might make a highlight reel somewhere.
He did not give up on that.
No, he sure didn't.
You know what I mean?
And kudos to Sean Mott for staying in the play.
He read that
is
the whole way.
Two-handed layout grab. Two-handed layout grab on a bad surface. That would be a nipple rip-up, but thankfully today we're playing on lush, deep grass. And it's just terrific out there, the kind of place where you can do that kind of layout without too much trouble. Oh, he even got a hand on the initial one, and then coming to the camera, what a perfect angle that is. Ottawa now with the disc, number 10.
You know, that's
Ken Alexander. Almost turfs it. But Jeremy Hill, again, in the right place at the right time, scoops that up with a lying down grab. We're back to the middle with Nick Boucher. And he is looking to number 18, Leon Forresneau.
They're just working it up that open side there.
Jeremy Hill again in the middle with the disc. On a release across the field to Ken Alexander, who puts it back to Hill, who grabs it with his left hand as he rolls into the end zone.
Little air bounce float there into that wind by Ottawa.
Alexander with the assist to Jeremy Hill, his first point of the game. We have the Outlaws up 3-2.
They had it on the far sideline there, and they had just had a couple breaks to get the disc all the way over to the other side, and they had a nice easy shot up into the goal here. Beautiful work by Ottawa, breaking the mark there.
So, once again on offense, Trey Katzenbach, Ryan Forster, Quinn Hunsaker, Nicky Spiva, Will Honey, Sean Mott, and Paul Klimkowski. The line seems set. Trey takes it just inside the end line. Paulie in the middle. Fakes a big backhand and comes around with the flick to Spiva, who comes to the middle to Quinn Hunsaker. Little middle shot to Sean Mott up at the 32.
Quinn is just silky smooth out there, man.
He really is. He's got length, speed, and a good head on his shoulders. Sean Mott on the near side, 31.
You know, he plays so
back
hard,
from Spiva. Nicky trying to direct traffic with his head. Quinn
nice
Hunsaker
smack.
just pulls that disc back.
There's Honey.
Almost D'd up by Paul Mensa. And Sean Mott.
There's nobody going.
On the near side, we have some contact. That looks like a pick is called. 10 yards against the Phoenix.
Phoenix are getting a little stagnant downfield. Here comes Honey.
Will Honey breaks long, but Sean doesn't do it. He holsters. Back in the middle to Spiva, who's lost his hat.
Still nothing downfield for the Phoenix.
Nice flick out to Trey Katzenbach.
Trey's solid.
Back to the middle to Will Honey. Fakes the flick, a little backhand to Nick Spiva. Back in the middle to Paul Klimkowski. Oh, nice backhand fake. It's good to see them using their fakes to get people out of position more. Sean Mott with a great flick to Will Honey in the end zone. Very pretty play.
Mott has just gotten better and better every year since his rookie year on the Phoenix in 2014. I mean, he's just become, I would go so far as to say, the face of the franchise right now.
Well, I'll tell you, last week it seemed that they made a conscious effort to get him more involved in the handling. He had 10 assists.
He was amazing last week. He was amazing. And, but I think he's one of the more dynamic offensive players on the team. They should run a lot of things.
No question. He's been MVP for 2 games already this year.
He could take a lot of pressure off a guy like Nicky Spiva
Ooh, and
Kenny.
here we have back to Jeremy Hill again. To Loiseau. Little forearm push-off on Brownlee. Be fun to see Marquez reach out and get one of those at some point. Oh, a big high flick.
I like Marquez's
and that's Loiseau with Marquez in the end zone. Oh! That's a turnover and back the other way. Loiseau might have been looking for a little contact.
He was looking for a call for sure. He was looking at the ref there. The ref was not giving it, man.
No, and I don't think he deserved the call.
He was not getting bailed out on that. Nope. Marquez went up early.
Both made an attempt at it. Marquez reached over the top without really
I don't think he touched him.
Pairing.
There was incidental contact on the way down, but I don't think his ability
on making the disc it made any difference. Ooh, we have a nice shot.
It's going to get over.
Almost misread, but nicely picked up.
Rosso to Brownlee here, and a nice shot to the end zone, and the Phoenix.
From Marcus Brownlee to Ryan Forster, that looks like. That's who that is, yes.
Rosso with a tremendous read on that deep shot. Phoenix with a break.
Oh, no, it wasn't Ryan Forster. Who's 77? I don't have him out here either. Charlie Cannon.
Phoenix with the break there. They take an early 4-3 lead here on Ottawa.
We'd like to see that. So Marquez with the assist.
Now that's now if you get the D and you throw the assist, is that like some kind of weird bookends thing these kids nowadays do, or is that some kind of weird hand symbol?
Yeah, it's
I'm not sure.
It's close. I couldn't give Marquez the D just because he didn't touch it. But
that's true. All right.
But so we like to see a little contact there. Number 3, Scott Westwell for Montreal. Oh, for Ottawa, 44. That's going to be too far, ladies and gentlemen. No, it's not.
Oh, he had a big bid.
I thought
that was down too, but he hung up in the air and he had a
bid by Jordan McGregor to dig that out in the end zone.
But here's another opportunity for the Phoenix to break here.
Steve Rosso with it at the line. Little easy backhand up to Greg Martin. Contact on 74. Russ Nichols for the Outlaws. And Martin dumps it quickly to Esser. Puts it up in the middle.
Nice steady offense here by the Phoenix. Just keeping possession, not panicking, hitting the open man. It's exactly what you want to do. Keep possession. Just complete passes.
And this one's going to be called back. Nardelli, 99 out there. Eric Nardelli.
What do they call him? Stall?
On the near sideline. Roots, is that? For the Phoenix, I haven't seen him out here before. Oh! Just overthrown by Matt Esser.
Phoenix are forcing their away sideline wide open underneath here. Easy reset, easy swing. Come on, tighten it up there, guys. Tighten it up. Big shot by Ottawa.
And Roos in there on the D. Really nice play. Number 29. Just in time to get his first stat on the D line. Very nice.
Excellent read at this there. He sized his man up, had his footwork down. It was a great explosion. It was a great play by Roos. Phoenix with another chance.
Steve Eng. We have a timeout called by the Phoenix. So we're going to mark that for them.
4:46
This piece with Eric is amazing to me. It's right in line with what we think is critical for kids, and that is to know their bodies.
The kids have really gotten into having speakers here that aren't just their teachers.
And I think the clinicians did a fantastic job. All the kids were engaged, none of them were distracted. They seemed to get into it right away.
I just want to reach out to Eric and tell him, thank you for coming and sharing the message that our kids can speak up. Early recognition is critical, and I look forward to doing more things with Eric in the future.
It's been great for us as a staff and for our students to experience the message you guys have, and highly recommend it for any school that has the opportunity.
So this piece
Hey, hustling around out there, going deep, coming.
Big shot from Mickey Spiva to Sean Mott in the back corner, too far.
So that is Robert Bruce. And we're still adjusting our headsets here, folks.
Now Phoenix's O-line is stuck trying to get the disc back here, and Ottawa with the hole.
Ottawa moving it back upfield. Still down one. Oh, and a turn right through the hands. And Spiva picks it up.
Doesn't have much happening.
Around for some help, a little dump to
Little
Quinn
lefty
Hunsaker.
backhand dump. Paul Klimkowski still sitting there, wide open.
Out to Paul Klimkowski in the flat here. He's trying to get to Forster, but can't find him there.
Here's
Hunsaker
Quinn.
instead, and that is going to be not in yet, but pushed out on the catch. We do have contact being signaled by the end zone ref, Dan Moraski, which, since it's inside the 10, Hunsaker brings it to the center on the goal line. And the Phoenix have a stack. Easy out to Sean Mott from Hunsaker. Kaboom. 5-3.
Another break for the Phoenix.
And that was, that's just nice to see that handled so well.
Just a beautiful put out the space there for Sean Mott, just to run it down. He was the only person who could catch it. Nice job out of Phoenix. They're playing well right now.
They sure are. They've got some rhythm, some pace.
Coming off that loss yesterday, you thought maybe it might be a little hangover, but they're playing with a lot of energy. And you know what? I bet you that play from Sean Mott earlier in the quarter where he caught the Mac, that can give the team a lot of energy. They exploded off that sideline, and I think they're still riding that a little bit right now. So
Absolutely.
the Phoenix have the Ottawa on the ropes a little bit right now. Let's see if they can keep their foot on the gas here. Ottawa lets the pull land on the far sideline, and Phoenix come out with some sort of junky zone, like a four-person cup. Ottawa's just content with just throwing it in a little space, little scoober over the top. Swing was cut off nicely by the Phoenix. Ottawa looks a little pinned down here.
Ken Alexander in the corner, back over the top to Scott Westwell.
Aaron Roberts running the mark here.
Leon Forrest-Note back over the other side.
Oh, through the cup. Oh, and a turnover.
And dropped by Loiseau.
Another unforced turnover. Phoenix.
A rare incident. That was sort of a bladey, quick flick to be that tight. He threw it through traffic, and I'm not sure Loiseau actually expected it to get through.
That came through with a little heat.
Yes, it did. And here we have Matt that is Kenny Wells. Who threw that to him?
Was it Glenn Poole?
Glenn Poole throwing to Kenny Wells for his first goal.
Nice little work by the Phoenix in small space there.
Yeah, it sure was.
Just little give and go. Aaron Roberts had a nice little a dishy to Glenn Poole, and then Glenn Poole got it in the front cone to Kenny Wells. Phoenix another break, 6-3, rolling here at home in the first quarter. Ottawa's having a little trouble holding on to the disc here. Bless you. All right, Ottawa receiving the pull in their end zone. We have a minute 37 left in the first quarter and counting. Phoenix up 6-3. They're back playing person defense.
And over the middle from Scott
There's
Westwell.
another big flick from Ottawa. Steve Ing.
Steve Ing is in there,
And he forced the
he misses it. They both went up at the same time. Little incidental contact, but
no call.
number 74, Russ Nichols, is not looking for a call and does not get one. Stephen Ing centers it to Rosso in the middle.
Man, that Ottawa player played Steve Ing, and he did not play the disc.
Yep, and that can be a problem.
And that cost them a turnover. Steve Ing made him go up early, and it caused
Quick
the Phoenix to
dunk.
get the disc back. Great throw.
Oh!
Unfortunate.
Dropped by Greg Martin.
And now Ottawa with a little bit of a short field. You got those turnovers in your own red zone. It's not the
place to do
not
it.
the place to do it.
Eric Nardelli on
Also
the
a great-
offensive line this time around.
Also a great D up the line there. There's Esser, but it's going to bid. Yeah!
Great D by Matt Esser.
Little floaty throw there, and it gives Esser time to maybe catch up a step or two that the Ottawa offensive player got on his cut, and Esser's not going to miss many of those.
No. Alan Hewell's out there, number 50. Getting 20 seconds put back on the clock. 2-0. There we go. Stephen Ing up the sideline, and it's intercepted right on the sideline. And into the end zone, but over the head of and caught by number 89, Nick Boucher. Did not see who threw that. It happened so quickly, but Ottawa getting a lucky goal right at the last second there, with 5 seconds left in the quarter, to close within 6-4.
I don't know who this timekeeper is, but he's got to get his stuff together.
Yeah. No names, please.
All right, Phoenix, 5 seconds left here. 6-4. Really good opening
And it
quarter.
looked like the thrower there was actually number 5, Jordan McGregor. That would be his first assist of the game.
I got a
Nice pull by Ottawa. Phoenix are just going to let one rip here. They've got Marcus Brownlee and who else going deep? Nicky Spiva, and he pops it. The horn goes while it's in the air, and the Phoenix are there. Oh, with the hand on it is Craig Martin, but no reception. Very close. Really great toss to end the quarter at 6-4 for the Phoenix. And we will be back with you here at AA Garthwaite Stadium in about 2 minutes.
I loved that you guys talk about cancer awareness, and it's more about body awareness and knowing their own bodies.
And I think Eric is a wonderful way to bring this into school. You come with a complete program.
The information is good. It's presented in a very professional way. The instructors do an excellent job.
I think the kids overall had a great time. I can see from their responses that they wanted us to get some more ultimate discs in the school, and that we'll be playing all the way into the spring and summer.
We really appreciated you coming out. We love the message you guys send.
Yeah, thank you for coming out.
Thank you, Eric, for coming out to the Pittsburgh area. It's a great experience for our kids.
Thank you for sharing your message with the kids. We really appreciate the energy that you've brought, and I really encourage anybody else who might be interested in this program to bring them on in.
Dallas takes possession, looking for the tie. And it was tipped off the hands of Chris Larberg and caught by Zach Riggins.
Got you loud and clear, big guy.
Yeah,
It is. This is much more clear and helpful.
Perfect. Okay. This is fantastic. This is great. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Leinert and Bailey Saul here, your hosts today for the Ottawa Outlaws visiting the Philadelphia Phoenix. Just a quick word of thanks to our referee crew. We have Joe Campbell out there, J.B. Harrington, Ed Ref, Dan Moraski on the far sideline at this point. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He's in the right end zone.
James Kalinsky's here.
Aha! That's who the other ref is. You know, I hadn't even seen that. We also want to thank our booth crew, Nick Halliday, Pat Geriantes, and Len Evans today. And we are also wanting to thank Ice Butler from Fraser, PA, Dr. Andrew Terry, team chiropractor and trainer, and Watt, of course, Fingers, Wings, and other things, where we'll all be hanging out after the game today.
They got some great chicken fingers there. I'm looking forward to them.
Oh, man, don't they? And the pull is up by Ottawa. It looks like Ryan Forster's going to catch it down here. No, let it go out of bounds. Klimkowski is going to go bring it in. We have Trey Katzenbach, Quinn Hunsaker, Sean Mott, Will Honey. And over on the far side, is that Nicky Spiva? Yes. So, what has been the premier offensive set here. And Klimkowski with a big out to Spiva, who has a little sort of...
That was a veteran move.
Yeah, up to Quinn Hunsinger. A little bump and run with Cooper Brotman over there. Quinn with a dump that is... He is faked out by his own man, so... unfortunately, we have to give him the turn on that one. And Ottawa working it back up to the center of the field. Ooh, coming over to the side. That was close.
Yeah, that sailed a little further than he liked.
Almost had some of that. Another one, Nicky just missed. And it looks like Boucher with a shot to the end.
And a big
that
layout
is a terrific
grab.
Layout grab from Cooper Brotman. I beg your pardon.
That looked like it was going to get around him, and that guy's just a superior effort to get that.
That was tremendous. All that in. I'm just waiting to get the number of who picked that up off the turf there, but is that 13? Yes, 12. It looks like number 12. Ah, Pierre Lemerle, the French import for Canadians Ottawa Outlaws. He has played apparently. I don't know if he was on the French national team, but he is one of their international acquisitions this offseason. There was a lot of hype about him in Ottawa, and you can see why. Another highlight reel catch on O by the Outlaws. Just a terrific layout grab.
That's one of the things you got to love about Ultimate is plays like that, man. And
sure
the guy
is.
just giving his all just to sell out his body to get that disc.
The old disc has gone by, and yet somehow it is still reined in. So we are now 6-5, and the Phoenix have gone from a 6-3 lead to 6-5, and really need to generate a little offense this series.
And they've gotten a little stagnant here recently.
They have, and
they're lining up in the host stack here. So let's see, Steve Ing starting the disc is.
I think it's time we got this thing in.
Ooh, a little poach action.
Ooh, Marcus Brownlee, nice pickup.
One hands
from Kenny Wells.
Big hammer.
And a big fat hammer to Steve Rosso. There was a pretty play, ladies and gentlemen. Marquez Brownlee with the big assist to Steve Rosso.
You know, there's a little bit of wind out there. That was a technical throw. That was a technical throw, man. That was impressive.
We have Ryan Brown out there as number 77. I've been calling him Charlie Cannon. I'm not sure why, but we will get this all together. He's been playing some good D.
Phoenix with a great
hold. And he had
hold.
that goal in the first half.
Big hold for Phoenix. They had to score in a couple points there. It was nice of them to get back on the board.
It sure was. Now let's see if we can get another break here and set them back another shot. Score 7-5 and 10:54 left. And a very nice pull by Eric Nardelli, I think, on the far sideline. Stephen Ing leading the pack up on D. And there is Mr. Reliable, Scott Westwell for
Phoenix coming
Ottawa.
out in a 1-3 wall here.
Out to Nick Boucher. Nice crossfield hammer to Ken Alexander, who puts a flick deep to Loiseau. And that was just misread by Greg Martin. Really nice play.
Man, lefty hammer to the far side here, opened it up, and then that just the guy didn't hesitate, put a big flick up into that wind, and
Loiseau finally gets on the board to make it 7-6.
Nice read there by Ottawa.
And who was that throw again? I just said his name. We're a little short-handed here in the booth this week with some of our young guys off with GSU.
You're definitely scraping the bottom of barrels for color commentators here today there, Bailey.
with thanks to Mark Sands and Sean Dacey, who are out this week. A nice high pull coming down a little shorter than they'd want at the 20. Paul Klimkowski to Nicky Spiva, who brings it up to Sean Mott, who sees Quinn Hunsinger, and he takes a big left-hand backhand, but Hunsinger is double-teamed down there, and he just got run under, and still almost got that.
I thought when he went around the back there that he was getting his footwork in place, that he was going to go up and rip that down. It just nicked off the end of his fingers.
They had a little Quinn Hunsinger sandwich going on there, and he just couldn't quite get his thumb under the rim of that disc, but he sure as heck got his fingers on it.
That shows you the trust Mott has in Quinn from their days at Pennsbury.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys, they've been doing that for years, and that was blind trust there.
I can tell you Quinn wants that back.
Oh, no question.
He would like another shot at that because he really thought he should have
Here's
it.
Will
Honey with the move.
Will
and a
Honey.
nice layout D against number 44, Owen Watt over there.
He had that inside track there when that throw went up and never gave it up.
He sure did, and he knew when it went up, it was all his.
Yes, no question about it.
Nick Spiva looking for somebody in the middle here and decides to go end zone instead. Oh, but again, a little bit of a crowd. And, ooh, yeah. I'm sort of curious why Paul Klimkowski didn't get any contact call on that. Again, a little bit of a sandwich. He took a shot to the legs, and they're having a little discussion. Colin Froats is on the ground. His brother Craig is calling the lines today.
Nicky just wanted to, I think he had end zone eyes a little bit there. He blew
Yeah,
off Mott coming underneath and saw Paul going away and said, hey, I'm going to throw it out to space.
And as soon as he did, of course, he had a double poach. He had 3 guys against 1.
Yeah, and then 2 guys poached off the back, and there was nothing Paul could really do.
That's right. And as good as Paul is, that's not a favorable situation to put your receiver in.
Not for any. You could put Superman in that situation and be a problem.
He needs to be way out front, and the refs are conferring and agreeing there is no call there. Uh-oh. And that looks like we have another Froats down now. Colin out of the game and being sat very gingerly and attended to by our team trainer there, Andrew Terry.
That was a pretty rough collision.
It was. Uh-oh. Going deep, and Marcus Brownlee can't catch up with Pierre Lemare. He catches the disc, drops it back to number 44, Owen Watt, swings it towards the middle, and up the field to number 5 for the goal.
And Ottawa has broke back.
And that was from 74, Russ Nichols.
Ottawa's now broken back 7-7. They scored, what, 4
to
of
Jordan
the last 5
McGregor.
goals.
Yep. Tie game, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, time for the Phoenix to regroup here. New ball game, 7-7. They had a good first quarter. They've come back down to earth a little bit, but now it's time to grind. Now it's time to grind, man.
It's sort of curious that with that much contact, there's no real thing going on there. Now Charlie Patton is out there on offense, along with Greg Martin.
Interesting, no Mott out there.
Steve Ing.
Is Mott out there?
I do not see him, no.
On offense, no Mott, no Nicky Spiva.
I'm sorry, yeah, that is. Greg Martin coming to the near side. And we have Ryan Brown out going deep a little bit. Greg Martin and Ryan trying not to cross each other up. That was a little bit of a pick. Greg Martin going deep, but he is well covered. Oh, and takes it fairly easily for the goal.
Rosso with a great flick shot into the wind, and Martin kept his body between.
Steve Rosso.
He kept his body between the disc and his defender and went up and tore it down.
He did. The Outlaw defender really did try and get around him, and he was having none of it.
Yes. No, great body position there by Mr. Martin. You can hear Don Sauce Kane all the way from the bleachers over there doing his famous in Philadelphia circles.
The Sauce Man, one of the great Mercer County players.
Oh, absolutely.
On many teams over there. And I believe he is still the MTA record holder.
Absolutely. Unless you count that stuff they did in space.
It's been 900 years. Yeah, right. I don't think you can. The Earthbound MTA.
Yeah, right. Maximum time aloft for those of us.
For you novices.
Guinness Book of World Records holder Don Sauce Kane in the house today.
Scott Westwell. I think that's Nick Boucher back there with him. Up to Jeremy Hill. And up the field to Ken Alexander, who's looking back for Jeremy Hill again in the middle. And Rosso catches up with him. A big backhand to number 16, Loiseau, but he is double teamed and tipped away. Tipped away. I have no idea what kind of call he's asking for there. But that looked to me like just a great hand play.
He's saying that
I think
Phoenix
he wants,
defender hit him in the back of the
yeah,
head.
he wants Alan Hughes to give him an integrity call there, and Hughes is having none of it. He feels like he got all discs.
And he did.
He sure looked it to me. Craig Martin, up to Alan Hughes, back to Craig Martin. Oh, and a big backhand over. to Rosso, and it's going to be easily D'd up. Another throw you just don't need to make.
They were that disc was bouncing in the wind too. That's a very difficult catch. There's no reason for them to do that there.
No, you get excited after a play like that,
Sure.
and I understand that. But we have a timeout. This time called by Froats here for Ottawa. So this is their first timeout of the first half. We're at 1 each.
7:18 left in the second quarter. Ottawa's going to put their O-line in, try to convert this. I guess
it would appear, yes.
Another break for them.
Yeah, and I think we may get a line change for the Phoenix as well. Eileen Murray is out there in her floppy hat, directing
Stylish.
traffic.
Sam Morgan, merch out there, also helping. I think that's
Marquez.
him.
Yeah, we got Marquez. We got Quinn Hunsinger back. Sean Mott. Ryan Forster. Is that Kenny Wells? Yes, you can tell by the gloves. And Greg Poole, rather.
Len Poole.
And also, of course,
Roberts.
number 52, Charlie Patton.
Aaron Roberts out there.
Aaron Roberts, too, who made a wonderful deep play that we couldn't give him in the first half because he kind of crushed the guy. Pretty good collision.
He crushed him after he got the disc.
He sure did. It was after but you know, if
in Mercer County, that's not a call at all.
Yeah, right. Well, you might have an argument for a little while.
You might have a hard time getting to your car after the game.
That's right. That's right. So Ottawa is going to set up their O. It looks like they're doing a heavy stack on the near sideline. On number 74, Russ Nichols, who gets it far side, clear easily at the 12-yard line, but Sean is shutting him down now.
Was that
Into the middle. Oh! And Jeremy Hill tries to sort of lean on the defender there.
Is that Martin?
No,
Kenny Wells.
Kenny Wells with the D. A very strange-looking flick to Marquez Brownlee.
Oh,
and out to Kenny for the goal. So
Bookends.
we're going to give Kenny the D and the goal from Marquez with the assist, and the Phoenix back up by 2.
No, I know that Kenny Wells got that D, but you know something? I saw that Quinn Hunsinger played shut down D on his guy in the lane and forced him away.
There you
and
go.
then they had to look for that second option, and Kenny was in right position to take care of it. But if Quinn doesn't do his job in that lane, Kenny's blocked. That's not going to happen.
And that's, you know, again, one of these things where you have a guy who's really sort of mainly known as an offensive player, Quinn Hunsinger, but he is staying on point there for both ends of the disc. And as Steve just said, making the D play that forced the second and less available option. But what a nice play to get that back. The Phoenix, it's nice to see them not wilt when the game is tied and just really sort of assert their will a little bit here. We have Scott Westwell receiving right at the goal line, centering it to number 66, Tyler Sadler.
There's 1-3 here by the Phoenix.
Little scoober back to Westwell rather.
Little junkie zone.
Yeah, there is a zone out there, isn't there? A nice cup working. But Ryan Brown is playing man here in the secondary. So you have an up-front cup with man deep, Marquez covering the deep threat, who is Jeremy Hill at this point.
Well, last time Ottawa beat this by throwing a hammer across field and unleashing a big flick and opening up the field.
Right.
But now they seem to be working it amongst their handlers, steadily getting inch by inch on the field here.
Another scoober across field right between Roberts' hands. That was very lucky. And number 18 drops the disc, trying to keep it in bounds, not quite sure where his sideline was.
That's the throw to Phoenix
Leon
want to see with that zone.
Forrest Knoll, and we have Nikki Spiva centering to Charlie Patton.
Spiva on the D-line.
Coming this way to Ryan Brown. Oh, and Aaron Roberts cuts in as it's thrown out by Ryan Brown and just can't quite get a hand on that. I've kind of got to give that to Ryan Brown because
yeah, no question. There's a big hammer across
Aaron
field.
made the shot there, made the effort, but the throw really wasn't to him.
2 cross-field hammers.
Just a little miscom.
There's going to be a big flick coming here. Nobody was going for Ottawa.
Sent it for Jeremy Hill. Back to 74, Russ Nichols. Dropping back to 66, Tyler Sadler. Across to number 3, Mr. Westwell on the far side. And he's looking for Leon Forrest-No in the middle, but instead goes upfield to Ken Alexander, who comes with a big cross-field hammer to Jeremy Hill again. And an easy backhand goal to number 74, Russ Nichols from Jeremy Hill.
The Phoenix defense did force Ottawa to throw 3 big cross-field hammers. Like, we're talking about 40, 45 yards just across the field alone. And they got the turnover that they're looking for with the floaty flick that went out of bounds.
Yeah,
they just couldn't convert on that throw there.
Couldn't convert. And this, in the early games this year, that was a real problem. I think it's much less so now, but it's not a habit they want to start at this point in this game.
Don't want to regress, that's for sure.
No, we got 4:52 left. We're on pace to be in the low 20s. Which means both teams are playing some good defense too.
Yeah, I like what Coach Murray did there by putting Spiva on the D line and trying to give him a little offensive firepower in case of a turnover. He just didn't get the disc in his hands enough.
Yep, and Will Honey taking it from Nick Spiva. Ooh! Quinn Hunsaker just scrapes that up off the carpet.
Will Honey owes him a Pepsi later.
He sure does. That was a sandworm, boy. That thing was going down. Will Honey back from Quinn Hunsaker on the far sideline, faking a flick, swinging back to Quinn, who's looking for Nicky Spiva. Almost cuts off Sean Mott. Back over to Ryan Forster. Up quickly to Paul Klimkowski. He is checking end zone, but holstering wisely.
Trey was back there cutting. He was open. There's
Will
Nicky.
Honey back again to Spiva.
Nobody going. There's nobody there.
Nobody's moving. Come on, guys. Stall count is only 7. Back to Will Honey.
Here's when they're getting a little stagnant here.
Oh, and Sean Mott just pulls that in. Looking, and a backhand out to Will Honey. Oh, nice grab. Nice grab from Will Honey. From Sean Mott, who follows the cardinal rule. Don't throw it to your receiver, just beat the D.
What a
very
catch by
nice
Will
play.
Honey.
Will Honey stretches out. And Sean Mott has now got 2 goals and 2 assists. But that one is...
Honey made up for that worm burner.
He did. The worm burner is now history. What a terrific layout grab by Will Honey.
He's another one of those guys from the up in that Prensbury way that just has improved over the past 3 years. And
yeah, he did. He started a little later than most of them, so it's fun to watch him just keep getting better year after year.
And he looks the part too, being like 6'2", just chiseled. You know
right.
what I mean? And now he's showing that he's got like a lot of heart and a lot of guts out there, and he's playing a lot smarter. And it's really good to see Will Honey improving like that.
And once again, Phoenix are refusing to fold, back up by 2 with a beautiful long pull from Alan Hewells into the end zone. Ottawa just getting it out to the 9. And a lady flick over to
another junk
Leon Forrest-No.
Another junk look by
Ken Alexander going backwards to Nick Boucher. Ken Westwell puts a flick up there for Loiseau, and no play. Loiseau undercut the defender to try and get that, and then looked around for a call. There was some contact on his knee, I think, or on the landing. I can't be sure which.
I don't think that he was looking for another call there.
Yeah, he was. He was from Greg Martin, and he's the one who came underneath him.
And he misread the disc.
I think he did, and I think he did it as Martin was in the air, too.
And but he can't be looking for a foul if you're going to be the guy doing the undercutting.
I don't think so. Andrew Terry out there just chatting with him, make sure everything's okay.
I hope he's all right. Did he hit
Asking
his head?
him to. I don't think so. I think he got a rib. He was flexing his arm like his rib cage was restricted, and Andrew was asking him. Yeah, there he is holding his ribs. He's asking him to put his hands up on his head to make sure he can stretch it like that.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think that's Andrew Terry. That's their own trainer, it looks like. But he's making sure he's got some flexibility there.
Like 3:15 left in the first half here. 10-8 Phoenix with the disc.
Phoenix to the center for Sean Mott. He's, Matt Esser being smart, coming up to Steve Ing on this side. Sting fakes a little flick up the line, comes instead to Sean Mott again in the middle, who's briefly double-teamed with a scoober back over to Greg Martin. Back to Stephen Ing, who's, you've got Rosso calling for it in the middle, back to Matt Esser.
Esser's just a grinder, man.
Yeah, and back to Sean Mott, back over to Rosso.
Keep swinging it, guys.
To Mott with a little dump.
Sting right on time. What's happening?
We've got a pick, I guess. I didn't see the sign for it, but he's sending the Phoenix back 10 yards. Stephen Ing, Sean Mott comes back to be his dump, but he goes right up to 29, Robert Roos. Sting again, looking, fakes twice. Back over to Mott. And out to Matt Esser, who will not get it. Sean Mott with the turn.
Unforced turnover.
His first of the game.
Big flick from Ottawa.
And Matt Esser.
Little bump.
Bumping from behind. Oh! And at the last second, reaches around a little incidental contact, but and the Ottawa player not asking for any call and not getting it because he knew he had a legit shot at that. And Esser gave it up at the last second, just getting a fingertip or two on it.
I don't know how he got his footwork underneath of him to get up there and get that.
It was he did a great job, the Ottawa player. I think that was Scott Westwell, of holding him off, or was it Nick Boucher? Whoever it was, he just held Esser off and then could not quite hold him off the second time.
He does.
What a great play by Matt Esser for another D.
He does some really incredible stuff.
Second of the game.
He's just a freak specimen athletically,
yeah.
Man.
And it's nice to see him back out here.
Some of the best hair in the AUDL, no question.
There you go. That's that nice sticky mohawk he's got going on.
with the headband?
Yep.
Oh, styling it up, Esser. Well, when you play like that, when you get these like that, you can have your hair any way you want.
That's right, buddy. Wear your hair however you like it. Just keep doing it on the field.
You got it, man.
I think this is the Phoenix final timeout of the half.
It was their last time out, and only a minute 29 left.
So we'll be entering that 30-second zone on the clock before too long here. The refs chatting at midfield. Dan Moraski, Charles Harity, and Joe Campbell, with J.B. Harrington coming to the near sideline. Grab a sip of water during the timeout. And the Phoenix about to bring the disc in, but of course they can't do that without their trail ref, J.B. Harrington, so we'll just give him a moment to get back on the field.
I guess it could be a little warm out there.
It's like Nicky Spiva. Oh, yeah. In the sun? Yes, sir. We have a lovely breeze going through the box up here. Spiva to Mott in the middle, who puts it up for Quinn Hunsaker, and he is double-teamed once again. An undercut, but this time slips around and easily takes it over the top. Back to our man in the middle, Trey Katzenbach.
It's Mott trusting Quinn
easily
again.
Back to Mott, and he's back to Quinn, this time with right beautifully put between three defenders. Quinn Hunsaker making his presence felt today.
How about Mott just like ripping that stuff into the wind, man?
Yep.
Good for Mott, man. And Quinn just knew where to go get it, man.
He sure did. Well, in this instance, actually ripping it downwind, thankfully. We look at that flag, and it's tailing out to the right. So the wind is coming left to right. But even so, those are very easy to overthrow, and the touch that Sean put on that goal was just perfect because it let Quinn take it untouched by any other player, and only he could get to it. But, of course, again, you talked about the trust factor between Sean and Quinn. having played together at Mercer.
Oh, the chemistry they have is off the charts. You can't buy that in the stores, you know what I mean?
No. And you have, here goes Marquez Brownlee with a nice big backhand pull. And trailing out of bounds at the last second, so we'll bring it up to the brick mark. We have Robert Roos, Stephen Eng, Greg Martin, and of course Alan Hewells out there with Matt Esser and Steve Rosso and Marquez Brownlee. A nice defensive set. Hewells and Brownlee with some length on them. Esser and Steve Eng with that quickness and the inside chops. Oh, Matt was looking for another one. Number 3 up the right side. Greg Martin on the mark.
Little push off there.
Little push off, little fake backhand. Jeremy Hill back across the middle to Ken Alexander. Coming on over here to number 43, Andrew Ochterley. And going back to Ken Westwell rather, I'm sorry.
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah, on the far side. Nick Boucher, who is big for them defensively and offensively. Another great two-way player for the Outlaws.
Phoenix going straight person here. Ottawa looking like they're trying to run
a very bladey flick easily over the top.
A half
number 43, Andrew Ochterley, who puts it back up to Jeremy Hill again.
No break.
And he's tempted by number 5, Jordan McGregor, in the end zone, but decides not to, probably wisely. Ooh, a nice low backhand. And now we have Nick Boucher all by himself, just clearing it over Steve Rosso. Takes a little bit of a tumble there. He was late getting there, so smart not to foul on that play unnecessarily. But another goal for the Outlaws.
2 seconds left here. Phoenix up 11-9.
So Nick Boucher all by himself. 89 caught that, and that's his 3rd goal of the game. Was that Blackwell threw it? I mean, Westwell, number 3? Let me see on the replay. I can't. Another assist missed on the Ottawa sideline. My bad, folks. Trying to do both score sheets today so Steve can mind the clock.
We're multitasking up here in the booth. I think
we are.
We should have a camera in here just watching us.
2 seconds left. I don't think.
I didn't know it was this hard, Bailey.
We don't have anything going to go on here except, of course, because it's on the pull. One pass, and too late. Too late. Did not get it off, and Spiva is blocked anyway by Paul Mensah.
Overall, good first half for the Phoenix there, man. They had
I
a nice
think
run
so.
in the first quarter, and they were pretty even. I think they were by 5 in the second quarter. Nice half for the Phoenix.
They were up by 3 at one point, but they've maintained a lead. They didn't fold when they got tied, and that's the difference, I think. Now that they know they can beat these teams, which they proved against the DC Breeze and in overtime up in Montreal a few weeks ago. And, you know, they gave Toronto a much better game than that score would indicate. And even the Empire last weekend in a game they should have been much closer on.
That win against DC earlier this year, I think that the team turned the corner there in a big corner that they haven't turned in a really long time. And I think they're playing with a lot more confidence, and they're just playing really good ultimate right now.
It seems that way today.
And they can
Steve,
compete with
really
anybody
does.
right now. You know?
Yep.
So they're a scary team.
Maintain the intensity. They've got the talent. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to disappear for a little while the halftime activities get underway here at AA Garthwaite. And we'll catch you in about 10 or 12 minutes for the 3rd quarter. Thanks very much for tuning in. But they're not going to make it catchable. It hits the ground, rolls. Scotty Zhu picks it up, and Spiva flicks out to the side. 3. Mott with a big pull. Okay. And it's D'd up. Oh! No, it isn't. It is caught. It is caught. That was Sean Mott to the aforementioned Nelson Oak with a diving reception in the end zone to steal a point at the end of the half.
That was a great catch and great heads up to stay in the play. What a play by Nelson Oak. That's going to make the highlights of AUDL this week. And Caroline is going to have something to say to Montreal about that, eh? We don't like these last second goals. It is no fun. Player in the Mercer Disc League. Ooh, we've got Mr. Esser out front. He catches that. That is a goal. With 8 minutes left in the first quarter. That was Matt Esser catching the goal. He jumped in the end zone last second. Official, it's back in. And a nice fake over to one side and then thrown deep. Oh! Who was that?
That was Greg Martin with a
big
catch.
Terrific grab.
Got up for that one. That's a big conversion for me.
Official. Ryan Forster up to Matt Esser, and
Nice.
Marquez is out front. That's the one you want. Nice hammer. Oh, very nicely done.
Esser looking
Matt Esser
roundly.
gets his first point of the day on a really pretty throw out there. Nice hammer. It looked like he had an easy flick, and then, you know, being a wily old veteran, Marquez just changed direction, and Matt said, yeah, let me give you the hammer instead. On Matt. Two deep players.
Looking for Colin Konesh. And Brownlee goes up
over
there.
The top from the far side. Yeah.
Skying 2 Toronto players and his own teammate in the process.
That is funny. Marquez just making sure on that one.
And on the way out of the point, he signed a fan's disc. How about that? Brownlee, obviously well known in the Ultimate community for everything that he does on the field, but he's also, of course, known for what he does off the field, which is his great YouTube series. He's got MKBHD, his own YouTube channel.
I'm back here with Sean Michael Mott with 10 assists, 3 goals, our player of the game for the Philadelphia Phoenix here against Toronto. And you know, Sean, you guys went out on them early, you got a lead on them, and you played them tight the entire first half. What do you think the difference was in the end with them?
You know, they're a big and physical team. I think the biggest part was we started letting them do what they want.
You and Will Honey seem to find your connection there late in the game.
Always fun to play with them.
Yeah.
And there's Mott right away.
Mott in the middle, Marquez by himself. I'd say yes. Sean Mahoney powering deep, and Sean puts a nice. Now that's the way that should be thrown. I think all these teams know that you're going to give them a game.
Yeah, I think after last weekend, teams actually started to see us seriously because we took down DC. I don't know, but from what I heard is Toronto usually travels light to America.
Yeah.
It looked to me like they brought their full squad out here today.
Yeah, I think they did not have Martin here tonight, but they had 18 guys, so they had a good roster. They were only 2 short of your roster.
Yeah.
But listen, that's a great game. 10 assists, 3 goals. What an effort tonight. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
All right, better luck that time. Thanks, folks. Fakes the big backhand hook. Does not go with the cross-court flick because...
And instead looking to trade Katzenbach downfield. Paul Tutulia giving chase. Katzenbach going up to get it.
Goal. That's a fan favorite right there.
Trade Katzenbach still showing that he has got it.
And Marquez is out front. That's the one you want. Nice hammer. Oh, very nicely done. Matt Esser gets his first point of the day on a really pretty throw out there.
Oh, Reese Maganelli getting it right back. Run through by Eric. Skying it there, but saved in the end. I believe that's Martin going downfield. No, he's not! right. Too much air underneath that one.
Yeah, it was not wise.
Gave Mike Jones a chance to run onto it. We got a huck here right away, looking for Ojo.
Trying to get deep there with Ojo. He's coming around. Yes!
Oh, great.
That is a terrific play by Falklandowski.
Streaking deep here is Mike McKenzie. Quinn Hunsinger giving chase. Floating up there, Hunsinger getting a chance at it. And he goes up and snags it.
Beats it.
Unfortunately.
Quinn Hunsinger, I hope he didn't land badly because that was a heck of a D.
Right to the middle of Sean Mott. Two deep players.
Looking for Colin Konesh. And Brownlee goes up there.
From the far side. Yeah.
Skying two Toronto players and his own teammate in the process.
That is funny. Marquez just making sure on that one.
And on the way out of the point, he signed a fan's disc. How about that? And it's a turnover on the swing. McKnight unable to dig it out.
Sean Mott with an easy throw to Scott.
Tan just turning it over on the swing.
They're going to play a little catch until somebody stops them. And
Mott with a scuba.
Sean Mott to Scotty Shoe.
Scott Shoe with his goal there. That's Scotty's first, or is that is Shoe's first in the game?
He has an assist, but that's his first goal.
And that's an assist from Mott as well. And Philadelphia making a pay.
And here we are tied at 7, ladies and gentlemen.
We haven't seen any of those mistakes really from Toronto. They've been very clean on offense. They've been really.
They've had 1 or 2 drops.
Mott looking deep to Martin here.
And I think.
Oh, and Greg Martin goes up and puts his man on a poster.
That's
unbelievable
nice
grab. Goes up over, oh my goodness, that was over Brian Yu of Toronto. And I have a feeling that Brian Yu right now wishes he didn't even try, because Greg Martin just absolutely posterized him, going up for a huge snag.
That was from Sean Mott.
Of course it was. Who else would it be?
He got down 9 for him only.
But they're not going to make it catchable. It hits the ground, rolls. Scotty Zhu picks it up, and Spiva flicks out to the side. 3. Mott with a big pull. And it's beat up. Oh! No, it isn't. It is caught. It is caught. That was Sean Mott to the aforementioned Nelson Oak with a diving reception in the end zone to steal a point at the end of the half. That was a great catch and great heads up to stay in the play. What a play by Nelson Oak.
The kids have really gotten
That's going to make the highlights of the AUDL this week.
I think the commitment did a fantastic job.
And
all the kids were engaged.
Coach Caroline is going to have something to
They
say to Montreal about that.
I just want to reach out to Eric.
Don't like these last second goals. No fun.
Speak up. Early
Player in the
recognition is
Mercer
critical, and I look
Disc
forward
League.
to doing more
Ooh,
things
we've
with
got
Eric.
Mr. Esser out front.
It's been
He
great
catches
for us as a
that.
staff and for our
That is a
students.
goal.
The message you
With
guys
8
have
minutes
been
left in the first quarter.
highly recommended for any school that has that.
Yeah, I loved that you guys talk about cancer awareness, and it's more about body awareness and knowing their own bodies.
And I think Eric is a wonderful way to bring this into school. You come with a complete program.
The information is good. It's presented in a very professional way. The instructors do an excellent job.
I think the kids overall had a great time. I can see from their responses that they wanted us to get some more ultimate discs in the school, and that we'll be playing all the way into the spring and summer.
We really appreciated you coming out. We love the message you guys send.
Yeah, thank you for coming out.
Thank you, Eric, for coming out to the Pittsburgh area. It's a great experience for our kids.
Thank you for sharing your message with the kids. We really appreciate the energy that you've brought, and I really encourage anybody else who might be interested in this program to bring them on in.
Dallas takes possession, looking for the tie. And it was tipped off the hands of Chris Larberg and caught by Zach Riggins.
So this piece with Eric is amazing to me. It's right in line with what we think is critical for kids, and that is to know their bodies.
The kids have really gotten into having speakers here that aren't just their teachers.
And I think the clinicians did a fantastic job. All the kids were engaged, none of them were distracted. They seemed to get into it right away.
I just want to reach out to Eric and tell him, thank you for coming and sharing the message that our kids can speak up. Early recognition is critical, and I look forward to doing more things with Eric in the future.
It's been great for us as a staff and for our students to experience the message you guys have, and highly recommend it for any school that has the opportunity.
Yeah, I loved that you guys talk about cancer awareness, and it's more about body awareness and knowing their own bodies.
And I think Eric is a wonderful way to bring this into school. You come with a complete program.
The information is good. It's presented in a very professional way. The instructors do an excellent job.
I think the kids overall had a great time. I can see from their responses that they wanted us to get some more ultimate discs in the school, and that we'll be playing all the way into the spring and summer.
We really appreciated you coming out. We love the message you guys send.
Yeah, thank you for coming out.
Thank you, Eric, for coming out to the Pittsburgh area. It's a great experience for our kids.
Thank you for sharing your message with the kids. We really appreciate the energy that you've brought, and I really encourage anybody else who might be interested in this program to bring them on in.
And Dallas takes possession, looking for the tie. And it was tipped off the hands of Chris Larberg and caught by Zach
So this piece with Eric is amazing to me. It's right in line with what we think is critical for kids, and that is to know their bodies.
The kids have really gotten into having speakers here that aren't just their teachers.
And I think the clinicians did a fantastic job. All the kids were engaged, none of them were distracted. They seemed to get into it right away.
I just want to reach out to Eric and tell him, thank you for coming and sharing the message that our kids can speak up. Early recognition is critical, and I look forward to doing more things with Eric in the future.
It's been great for us as a staff and for our students to experience the message you guys have, and highly recommend it for any school that has the opportunity.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the second half.
Bailey, you could not have timed that more perfectly, my man.
Oh, watching that clock go down.
You hustled across that field, man. That was hilarious.
For a man with no knees, I can move when I have to.
You were moving, my man. You were moving. So.
Oh boy.
We'd be a little remiss if we didn't mention Mr. Mike Yonda joining us in the booth here today for former Rage player, former New York player, Cornell Bud, and overall Ultimate legend.
One of the greats from the days of yore and in the big movie.
He's in flatball. No
flatball. He's our air horn man today. Oh my goodness! Look at this pull.
I think it went through the uprights.
We have it landing just out the back.
That's a hell of a throw.
It sure is, especially.
That's a 90-yard
throw.
throw.
Well, it looks like the wind has just switched for the moment. It's coming from the right. Well, no, it didn't switch. It went about 30 degrees, but that was a nice downwind pull. Actually, no, it is switched. That was just for a moment. It's coming from the right.
I don't know who threw that, but that was amazing.
It was monster. I'm guessing maybe Quinn, but
here's the Phoenix coming out in person defense here to start the second half, up 2.
Robert Roos in the middle over there. Charlie Patton on this side. Is that? No, I'm sorry. Oh,
turnover. That bounced.
Yes, it did. Joe Campbell on that like white on rice. Eric Nardelli going deep, and Rosso. Stephen Ing looking in the middle.
He's running out of time.
He's seeing no cuts. Finally, Matt Esser gives him a dump. And a nice cross field that is missed.
Just sailed on Esser. Just sailed on him.
Just a little off for Eric Nardelli. And we have Rosso back on D on
good mark
Nick
on
Boucher.
there. Good mark.
Jeremy Hill does not get that one. Another unforced turnover there.
That was a great mark. You gave him a little bump to stop that big huck that wasn't called, and now and then he caused that throw to sail a little bit there on the secondary cut. Now the Phoenix have another opportunity here. Let's see what they do with it. Rosso with the disc in the middle.
Nick Boucher with a rare turnover. Matt Esser in the middle now. He's got Nardelli out for a swing dump. If he needs it, he does. He comes back to Esser, who's looking for Alan Hughes. Oh, and again, we have Steve Ing going long and reading it just right for the goal. Very nice catch and a beautiful read. A beautiful read from Matt Esser's floaty long throw.
Sting was outsized by at least 6 inches by 2 different Ottawa defenders, but he let the Ottawa defender go up and let the disc sail right over his head.
Honestly, if I'm the defender on that, I'm just ticked off because I think, Stephen Ing, for all his qualities, at his diminutive size, there's no way he should come down with that disc. But it's his experience and his patience and the common and good sense not to go up with the man, but to read the disc. Remedial reading class, right?
Dude, and I'll tell you what, Steve knew he wasn't going to get the disc that high. So,
that's right.
So let that defender try to go up and get it. If he gets it,
let him see what happens.
Good for him. But if he doesn't get it, it's a goal. And it's a great read by Steve. Big break for the Phoenix to start the second half.
Marquez Brownlee with another gorgeous pull, if that first one was his, to the goal line upwind. And I'm hearing it was on the last point, so.
Phoenix should get a point for throwing it through the goalpost, man.
Ken Alexander here on the near sideline brings it up to 74. Russ Nichols.
They're forcing this away
Jeremy
sideline
Hill.
here. They're trapping hard here.
Never present.
Kenny Wells with a hand block.
Anyway, and that's Ken Wells.
Kenny Wells with a solid mark and got a hand on that.
Give him another D on that play. Whether he got the stall. Oh. And we have a Phoenix timeout. Their first of the second half.
It's a little early, but I think Kenny was in a little bit of trouble. And pretty safe call there. Safe call.
Well, possessions, again, as we get deeper into the half, of course, they're going to be more and more important, and perhaps that was a little soon to do your first timeout, but on the other hand, it's sort of a statement to the rest of the team. Guys, we need to keep the movement going. We need to value every possession, and I'm willing to spend a timeout here to reaffirm that point.
Well, and also to your point, if they score this, they got their biggest lead of the game.
That's right.
So if you're going to take it, so maybe taking it this early isn't terrible.
That's true. That would be 4 goals. That's
and they were up 6-3 at one point, and then Ottawa fought back to tie. And now the Phoenix comes out and reestablishes a 3-goal lead right out of half. And here we go with an opportunity to make it 4.
Yep. That would be a tremendous step for them.
Let's see if they can convert their timeout here.
We can see Will Honey being animated over there.
You got Trey Katzenbach, Nikki Spive on there. There's Quinn Hunsinger.
Paul Klimkowski.
Forster's out there. Mott's out there. And Honey.
Yep, we have the 4 Pensbury boys in Mott, Honey, Hunsinger, and Klimkowski with the disc. And Ryan Forster being the
looks like Quinn's going to make this first cut here. Let's see what he does.
Out there. And, yeah, with Quinn's matchup, if I'm Paulie Klimkowski, I'm looking for that. All right, Nikki Spiva falls down, and no contact is called. Quinn with the disc on the near sideline. He fakes a little flick.
Big Cross, he sees the hammer.
Oh, he sees Mott. Oh, and it's just Deed.
That's a tough throw.
That is a tough throw, and
he
into the wind that time, which did not help him out.
And he couldn't help himself. He saw Mott curl to the open side with all that space, and he thought, you know what, I'm going to drop this dime right in there.
Yeah,
and
Cooper
it got
Brotman got up and took it away, and now we have a deep swing pulled. Oh! Very pretty on Sean Mott, and just no doubt who was getting that. Pierre Lemmerly notwithstanding the great player that he is. Sean Mott, despite his diminutive size with the ridiculous hops, just goes up and tips it away. Nicky Spiva coming to Quinn Hunsaker. And Hunsaker's D-man is a good 4 inches shorter than he is. So
here's Paul Klinkowski with a great move to get open up the line.
To Trey Katzenbach, the wily vet, a little scoober back to Mott, over to Quinn. Ooh, and that was rising over his head. He snagged
in the wind
just as it was going out of reach.
Oh, and it just happened again, right off Forster's hands.
The breeze is really making itself felt here.
That disc is bouncing around.
Yep. Bouncing big time. Timeout by Ottawa. So here we have both teams calling a timeout within the first 5 minutes. Within the first 4 minutes, that's right, of the second half of the third quarter here. And I said it about the Phoenix. I'll say it about Ottawa. They're expressing the importance of each possession here. The Phoenix had a chance to go up by 4, and now Ottawa has a chance to bring it back to 2.
If you're Ottawa, you got to get this goal. Yep. I mean, things are going to start slipping away, especially on the road. You know, coming off a rough loss yesterday to the Empire.
Yep.
This is a big goal. This is not a bad timeout by them. You know, but hopefully they're no, not hopefully, I guess. I mean,
right.
they're going to draw something up here. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2 throws and a deep shot. Trying to get the big strike. So we'll see what Ottawa comes out with here. Phoenix, this is a pivotal point in this game right here. It's either going to be 13-9 or it's going to be 12-10. If you're Ottawa, you need this to keep pace.
And it looks like the Phoenix have taken the chance to put in a few subs here with Glenn Poole, Aaron Roberts,
Marquez Brownlee,
Matt Esser, Kenny Wells is back there, and Ryan Brown. And we're going to see how they match it up. They're manning up.
This is definitely their D squad. Ottawa
Glenn
running
Poole,
sort of horizontal here.
Glenn Poole with his long experience on the mark for the thrower at the cone.
That's a good mark.
The pylon, we should say. It's
he just let it
good.
out, though.
And a big swing across field. Marquez Brownlee almost gets the upfield. You have a double team with Glenn Poole and Matt Esser. Poole coming now back after Boucher.
Big flick.
Big left-handed flick. Aaron Roberts, who will be a little... Aaron Roberts with a nice double look. He stayed with that play.
He had good position.
Because Ken Westwell almost got the deflection. Over to Charlie Patton. Back to Glenn Poole, who's come back to handle in the middle. Out to Patton again. Poole is clearing. And you have Ryan Brown coming in. Takes the disc on the near sideline. Back to Poole in the middle. And we have a pick. It's going back 10 yards. Joe Campbell making that call from the near sideline. Glenn Poole with Loiseau marking him. And Laurent Loiseau is forcing him to the sideline. Poole gets it back to the middle to Charlie Patton. An easy cross to Ryan Brown, who fakes a big backhand. Looking like he's going for Ken Wells, but holsters it. And Esser over to Poole. Comes up to Roberts. Back to Poole. Like the Phoenix confidence here. It's just stolen away as I shoot my mouth off. Jeremy Hill
Ottawa
with
defender.
the D comes out of nowhere.
Hill just ran right past his person he was covering there, man. Here's a double team.
We have another pick. This time on Ottawa. They're going to back to the thrower and back 10 yards to just the other side of midfield. Dan Moraski holding his foot there for the spot. And back in play with Patton on the mark. Over to Achterley. Ochterlony, I'm sorry, Andrew Ochterlony, and back to Westwell in the middle.
Ottawa just maintaining possession here, just thumping and swinging.
Yep, and the Phoenix, you have to say, doing good downfield D to keep them
Glenn
there.
Poole, I thought was going to bid on that
Glenn
one.
Poole was thinking about it, but he knew he'd be better off just if he didn't get it to be
put
there
a mark
for the
on,
throw.
put a good mark on,
Yep.
force it back to the sideline here.
Stall called. That was close. I'm not sure. That's going to be an interesting question.
That was a little quick, in my opinion.
It might be. It might be.
Phoenix
Brownlee
wastes no
out there by
time.
himself. Oh! And he is sandwiched on D. Doesn't ask for a call. Doesn't get one.
You know, the Ottawa's doing a great
see,
job
that's-
of poaching off the back of their stack when the Phoenix sends somebody deep, and it looks like
It's
they have
true,
2
but
or
on
3
that
defenders.
play, I really think he got bumped a little from behind as the disc arrived. And, you know, even though it's subtle, if it changes the offensive player's position enough to miss the catch, it really should be called. It doesn't have to be crushing contact. It just has to be contact that changes the play. And I think both teams would say that too many of those have gone uncalled on both sides.
Oh, a little hand block.
Oh, very nice by Aaron
Roberts.
Aaron
Got a hand on
Roberts
the
gets
throw.
the D.
Hand on the throw.
That's
Great
a
point
nice
block.
play right there.
It's a marathon point now for both teams. Let's see who's going to gut it out.
Glenn Poole.
Each team only has
Back
one
to
timeout
Marquez.
left.
Back to Glenn. Marquez in the middle, but he's not open. Now he is. And they're just playing a little catch. Aaron Roberts back to Glenn Poole. Poole clearly running this point, and an easy throw to the end zone by Glenn Poole. And the Phoenix do take it up 4.
Marquise Brown.
What a nice play.
Just a little dishy game with Aaron Roberts and Glenn Poole. And just he saw that there was nothing but green grass in front of him. He took it to the end zone. Great throw by Glenn Poole.
Glenn is another, like
flat,
Trey
soft in his
Kotzenbach.
face.
What a valuable guy to have out there on offense. He just took that point over. It reminds me of the point last week when Sean Mott and I think it was Scotty Zhu just took over a point. They started playing catch, and then it was clear Sean was just going to direct the offense from that point. And that's a game he had 10 assists in, so I'd have to say it was effective in terms of his production. Even though it was in a loss, it was a very, very competitive game. And thankfully today, he's not having to shoulder that much of the burden. Alan Hughes with a very nice pull.
It's nowhere near the uprights, though.
No, but it's in the Ottawa end zone, and that's as much as you can ask for.
One of my favorite things of the day was that pull to start the second half. Jeez.
Crossfield all alone, number 29, Cooper Brotman. And up to Turner.
Little junky look by the Phoenix again.
Mr. Watt in the middle.
They've gotten some turns with this. There's Sting on the mark. They're making him go crossfield swings here. A big shot. Oh, that's not going to work. That's not going to work.
That was actually Nardelli, as he crossed the field, he looked over his shoulder to see where Loiseau was going to want to throw that. Or not Loiseau, I'm sorry. Jeff Bevan was going to want to throw that. And he made it a point to close down that alley. He either got a hand on that, just a finger, or he disrupted the throw angle so that the thrower at the last second changed it.
I think that dude threw a noodle.
Ooh, and Stephen Ing gets point blocked by Carson Turner.
On the 5-yard line.
What a bummer that is.
That's a big play for Ottawa. They needed it right there.
We're going to give Carson Turner the D on that sucker. That was a very nice play.
Ottawa in the end zone, boom, score. They needed that. They needed that, man.
It's number 5. I didn't see who threw it.
Sting. I did not see who threw it. Sting needed. Sting would like to have that back in the worst way.
Wouldn't he though?
The look on his face after he got point blocked there
Carson
was
Turner with a big D there.
Oh man, Steve. That's all right. That's all right. Phoenix still up 3.
Well, folks, this is the last home game for 3 weeks. And then we have our last 2 games of the season on Saturday, July 15th against the New York Empire here at 6:30.
That Empire team is surging right now.
They are. They just beat these guys yesterday, though only by 1. And then July 22nd, the rematch against the DC Breeze, also at 6:30.
Montreal is looking over there in their rearview mirror at New York, boy, and they're getting bigger in that mirror.
And we have Ryan Forster pulling in the pull here to Paul Klimkowski. Nick Spiva's all alone there. Trey Katzenbach going deep and taking 2 men with him to clear the middle for Quinn Hunsaker, who then puts a flick out.
The noodle.
Oh, Quinn missed through that. And there's another one Quinn wants back.
Yeah.
Will Honey pretty much alone out front.
He keeps that flat in the space. It's an easy goal, and it came out of his hand a little awkward, and it bent all the way over.
He hooked it. He pinched it at the last second. It held on to it a little too long.
Yep, you're 100% right on that.
3 minutes left in the half.
Good poach by
in
Honey
the
there.
quarter, in the third. And Montreal having a little difficulty getting it out of the end zone.
Callahan opportunity.
I think we have another stall.
Phoenix.
Oh, that is nice. That's another great mark.
Well,
We have the lead pretty comfortably now, and this is going to be critical for the Phoenix here. Just to keep the hammer down. I think their focus is just going to be to keep on coming.
a lot of game left here too. You know, I mean,
like Alan Hills with another big pull.
If anybody can give up a 4-goal lead, is
yeah, don't say it. Don't say it.
You know, they got to.
All right, Montreal. Ottawa in their end zone. You're right. You put it in my head.
Yeah,
Matt Esser on the near sideline against Octorloni, who wants that backhand in the middle, and at the last second tries to get it. He does get it, rather, to Loiseau and
Nardelli there.
Nardelli goes down, but doesn't come up with it.
Bendy flick here. Messer's got it.
Yes, Matt Esser with another D. There is the hat trick.
Esser had the angle the entire way. That was not even close to a good choice by the Ottawa thrower.
No, it
there.
wasn't. He went inside on that, really read it nicely.
Steve
Rosso with a line drive that's picked off right away by Ken Alexander.
First pass turnovers killing the Phoenix here.
They really are. This is just not the way you want to do that.
That's
and another drop that just
that was another terrible throw.
Yeah.
It wasn't catchable. He rifled a laser.
And again. Oh, these guys.
Open side,
This has got to be making Eileen Murray nuts right now. She is just ready to cut somebody's head off. And I don't blame her.
Let me tell you, standing over there coaching is not easy, man.
No.
You have no control about what's going on out there.
Robert Roos with the turnover that time. They're spreading it around, but it's not the kind of stat they want to spread.
Good D by Sting. Oh.
Rosso holding on over there. Nick Boucher, very reliable out in the back here to Loiseau on the near sideline.
Don't get lazy on the mark there, Phoenix guys. Let's go.
Nardelli again looking downfield to see what he needs to shut down. Nick Boucher to Jeremy Hill, who's doing a little bit of a gentleman J when he catches it.
Yes, he is.
That should be called, too. That turn upfield.
By the letter of the law, that definitely is a
distinct
a
advantage. And another. This time it's Boucher with a turnover.
That's his second bad throw in this point.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Ottawa's fighting for their life, and they're making these bad throws. The Phoenix, though, are not capitalizing with unforced errors of their own.
And Sting to Esser.
They're everyone's tired.
Nice shot in the middle to Martin. Back over across to.
You got to gut it out. You got to gut it out. 15 seconds. 14 seconds.
Steve Rosso.
Somebody's got to set themselves up.
Matt Esser.
Somebody's camped out in the back there for
Mike
the Phoenix.
Rosso.
They're going to have
Steve
to
Rosso, rather,
put it up.
in the middle.
5, 4. Big shot. That's not going to get there.
No. And that is the third quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Thankfully, the Phoenix will be getting the disc to start the fourth, but this is just not a happy series of events to end the quarter, and I know it's going to be frustrating for our coach. But you have to take the bright side away. They finished the half with a 2-goal lead, and they now have a 4-goal lead. So it's hard to say they're in a bad position, but
it's not a bad position. But you'd like to see them tighten it up a little bit more. I mean, it could be as much as 6-goal lead right now if they took care of the disc. So
they need to improve in the fourth quarter to hold on to this lead. Folks, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with you here at AA Garthwaite Stadium. Hang in there. 1 quarter to go. See you in a minute.
I loved that you guys talk about cancer awareness, and it's more about body awareness and knowing their own bodies.
And I think Eric is a wonderful way to bring this into school. You come with a complete program.
The information is good. It's presented in a very professional way. The instructors do an excellent job.
I think the kids overall had a great time. I can see from their responses that they wanted us to get some more ultimate discs in the school, and that we'll be playing all the way into the spring and summer.
We really appreciated you coming out. We love the message you guys send.
Yeah, thank you for coming out.
Thank you, Eric, for coming out to the Pittsburgh area. It's a great experience for our kids.
Thank you for sharing your message with the kids. We really appreciate the energy that you've brought, and I really encourage anybody else who might be interested in this program to bring them on in.
Yeah,
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here. The refs doing a little warm-up with the disc out there. Ottawa will be pulling from our right end zone in white.
That's where lesser-known players get a little exposure there while the other teams are in the sideline huddle there.
And it looks like we have Hunsicker, Spiva, Klimkowski, Katzenbach, Forster, Mott, and Honey out there on offense. This is one just for their heads I really think the Phoenix need. They're coming upwind.
You know, they only gave up 1 goal in that third quarter there. I mean, their defense has really tightened up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's saving them from their mistakes that they're making on up. So let's see if the Phoenix can capitalize here and stretch this lead out to 5.
Yeah, what was that? That had to be like a 8 or 9 turn quarter.
It was the Phoenix
very
scored,
little scoring.
Phoenix scored 3, and the Ottawa Outlaws only scored once.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So that's a rarity in the AUDL, giving up only 1 goal in a quarter. I mean, the Phoenix are doing something right. I mean,
defensively right.
Ottawa's not helping themselves at all. I'll tell you that.
You'd have to say you were happy. There were a couple unforced errors, but you know, a lot of unforced errors look that way because you don't see what people are trying to throw around or get around. Forster up to the middle to Nick Spiva. Mott cutting but not getting it. Back to Ryan Forster. Back to Spiva. Forster is crossing, and he's going to get it out in the flat a little bit there. Quinn Hunsicker coming up, easily getting open. And right to Trey Katzenbach, who's coming to Sean Mott in a second. Nope, going back to Nick Spiva in the middle.
Mott's been shut down today a little bit. That's the guys in the booth here just commenting on that. I couldn't agree more. I mean,
and Paul Klimkowski going to the disc, gets a finger on it, but not enough.
Forster's got to make a better choice than that.
He does, and a better throw.
That was early in the count for that throw. I mean,
and a better throw. Yeah, that's just not a great throw.
Leads to a quick, easy goal for Ottawa.
Yeah, and that's, that is not the way you want to start the quarter. They only got 1 all of last quarter. Did you see who threw that? I see it was number 5 who caught it. Jordan McGregor.
It was all the way over the other side of the field, and my glasses are too thick.
There we go. No worries.
So Ottawa cuts the Phoenix lead to 14-11 with 11:10 left here in the final frame. Phoenix Has a little bit of D-line flavor out on offense here. Esser, Marquise Brownlee, Sting. Interesting choice here by Coach Murray. Let's see how it works out for the Phoenix. Big pull from Ottawa.
And Glenn Poole reining this in to Sting in the middle.
I'd like to see Glenn touch the disc a couple more times here.
Oh, a low throw to Marquez, who scoops it up and puts out a big hug to Matt Esser.
That's Esser. Yes,
oh!
That is all Esser.
What a catch. He's on the one, and you have Glenn Poole
double team.
going in.
Big dump. Ooh, foul.
We have contact, which means it'll be centered for Matt Esser and a new stall count
and
on
Phoenix,
the goal line.
Phoenix hustling to get in their end zone offense here. Let's see what they run.
And, of course, you know, I don't want to be Ottawa in this situation because I like Matt Esser, boom, to Marquez Brownlee. Easy peasy.
Nice little juke. Nice little juke.
Very nice play.
Marquise, a nice little juke to get open on the second in the stack there. Little fake break mark. Bust wide open to the open side.
And Matt with just what a great catch. I was not confident that he was getting that.
I had it all the way. He had it all the way over here.
It was a nice play. That was really nice. Marquez is holding the disc, getting ready to pull. And this time we have Hunziker in on D with Glenn Poole, Aaron Roberts, Ryan Brown, and, of course, Charlie Patton, Kenny Wells. Now Glenn Poole is going off in favor of Nardelli.
Giving Spiva and Trey and Mott a little extended rest here. Honey getting a little break.
And we have Marquez with a beautiful hanging pull coming to the goal line. Aaron Roberts is the first down there and will cover Scott Westwell, rather. Oh,
hammer.
Big hammer, and Ryan Brown thought he might have a shot at that. They're moving it a little too easily for my taste here. Octorloni.
No pressure on the mark at all here.
Now we have the cup around him.
There's a gentleman J right there.
Yeah, you don't want to get this set up this far upfield.
Big swing.
Again, two guys wide open on the throwing end of things. Nardelli covering up the thrower now, but not in tight enough. And to the one, and there's the goal very easily. To Loiseau from Scott Westwell.
You were saying it's a little too easy there.
Yeah,
and their Ottawa's hanging around. You know, and they get a break. They're going to start feeling a little pressure to Phoenix. And
they cannot count on just doing offense here. Their defense has been so great all game, and here they've let 2 goals go, you know, in the first 2 minutes and a few seconds of the third quarter.
There was no defensive pressure there from the Phoenix. They just let them walk it right down the field. You'd like to see a little bit more pressure on the mark. I know they're getting a little tired here in the fourth quarter, but there's really no excuse for you not to be putting a little bit more of a hard mark on these guys and making things a little bit more difficult on them.
So Forster, Mott, Hunziker, Honey, Spiva, Klimkowski, and Katzenbach on O.
These guys should be fresh.
These are the reliable guys. Sean Mott was looking to go
Forster wide
over to Forster
mark.
in the middle, Trey Katzenbach.
Nicky Spiva is one of the best in the league to break in that mark. I'm telling you, the guy's awesome.
Oh, ooh, nice to Trey, who gets open here in the near flat.
It must be nice to know you can just throw break mark whenever you want and it's going to be fine.
Yeah. Oh, Paul Klimkowski. Oh, and there it is to Will Honey. There it is.
Oh, nice
yeah,
play
he's
by
a little
Mr.
bit
Honey.
submarined. What in the world is the Ottawa player asking for there? I have no clue what he wants. Will Honey took that with his offhand around the side. He's saying something to Joe Campbell. He better be quiet before he gets teed up.
He should get a tee for that because that was a dangerous play.
Yeah. Oh, and what? Submarine the player and then looks for some kind of foul?
He had a marginal bit at that at best and slammed into the guy. Slammed into Will Honey. Good thing Honey's like a big dude. Could take it, but great
Was that Quinn who
catch.
threw that or Mott? Sean Mott.
I think it was Quinn. I got this big pillar right in front of me.
Yeah.
So anything right here I can't see.
just trying to figure out who threw that. No. Oh, Paul Klinkowski. We got to give him credit for that. Really nice throw from Paul. Yes, it was. Thank you.
Oh, it was Paul with that little air bounce thing.
Yep.
There, yeah.
Ochterlony this time. So now it's back to 4. Jeremy Hill. Forrest No.
Here they are, 2 throws and already past midfield.
And Loiseau being marked by Nardelli. Ooh. Steve Rosso. We're going to have a contact on that. Jeremy Hill sort of raises the hand a la the NBA to get that call.
It was a little, yeah. Somebody call this guy hitting me.
Swings it to Boucher, who overthrows Loiseau in the end zone.
That's his 3rd bad turnover.
I think it is. Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
you're right.
I don't know, man. I'd be sketchy.
And that's rare for Nick Boucher. It's just not part of his playbook. We have Matt Esser bringing it to the near cone against Andrew Ochterlony, who has great long arms.
Sting up the line.
And nice catch and throw. And Sting throwing out there to, oh, yes, Derek Nardelli, who dumps it quick to Roos. Robert Roos looking back to Nardelli in the middle. And Sting across the field a little bit with Matt Esser trailing the play.
Man.
Oh, that was just too lazy.
Sting did not have his feet underneath of him.
No, and he didn't need to throw that soon. He could have waited for another cut.
Or holster it or throw a fake there and go back.
This thing, it's so far back there.
Almost went over the wall.
J.B. Harrington.
Somebody's got to go deep. Stretch the field, boys.
Alan Hughes looking around for a dump here. Fending off a little bit of a mark that had some pressure on the arm. Steve Rosso
he was hitting them. That should have been
on the sideline to Matt Esser. Very pretty play. Timeout. I think that's for the Phoenix. I'm not really sure why. They seem to have good motion on that.
That was a Phoenix timeout?
But it seems to be. They had the disc, so I don't think I don't think Ottawa can call it there.
Ottawa couldn't call timeout. Yep. So home timeout.
So we have the second timeout for the Phoenix, and that's it for the second half.
That's it.
That is it.
16-12 Phoenix. 6:54 left in the fourth here. Still some meat on the bone there, Bailey.
Just under 7. Yeah, this is, again, they just want to keep up the intensity here. This is in hand. Quinn Hunsaker talking in the huddle with Sean Mott, Ryan Brown, Nicky Spiva, Paul Klinkowski, Trey Katzenbach, and Ryan Forster.
I mean, Ottawa's got to be talking to themselves with the opportunities they've had and just with the bad choices that they've made.
It's kind of surprising. I think you got to guess that there's a little fatigue going on because these guys, I know they come 12, 14 hours or whatever to get down here.
And I'm sure there's a couple of them sitting there thinking about the long ride home
That's
right now, man.
They were playing through supper time last night, so we have Spiva coming over to pick up the disc and tapping it off on his thigh. It's such an ultimate player habit, even in the pros, where you don't need it to let your opponent tap the disc in. But he is going to be wound in by J.B. Harrington. Quinn Hunsaker makes the break back to the disc to get it and throws nicely to Ryan Brown, who goes up to get that and is now looking for an outlet. Over to Quinn again. Ryan Forster cutting back across the field. Too much clogging on the near side.
They got to
He's
get
near
it
a
over the
stall.
other side. They got to get it around.
Just gets it off.
They got to.
Spiva, Boucher looking for a stall call. Little contact there on Hunsaker by number 92, Carson Turner. Take 10, my friend.
In center.
And here again, this is a situation, if I'm Ottawa, I'm not real happy. Quinn Hunsaker just too good with the disc in this close. and pops it over to Nick Spiva from Quinn Hunsaker for the goal.
Phoenix now up 5 with 6:08 left.
That is huge, as we say.
They converted their timeout, but let's see how it,
Nick Spiva with the goal.
They have none left.
Hunsaker with the shot. And again, you know, that's just a situation where Quinn was patient. He waited, didn't get all goofy with it. He got shut down to the Mott side. Mott broke into the far, you know, going to the far side, and the defensive guy swung over, and Spiva came around the other side. And Quinn just waited and took what was there. And again, this is, you know, a guy who can play defense and offense, but who's been so good for so long. Not the kind of guy you want to see with the disc in the center of your goal line and a full stall count. Nice pull. Back of the end zone. I mean, back of the field, right on the goal line. Matt Esser on the mark. Ochterlony fakes and comes back.
Great straight up mark by Esser there, preventing the huck.
Glenn Poole on Nick Boucher. And Loiseau with Aaron Roberts on him. Just gets it to Jeremy Hill, who runs out of bounds and comes back for Marquez. Oh, crossfield too high.
Air bounce right over his head.
Yes,
big
go
shot.
do it.
Oh,
there it
is. An easy one for the Phoenix.
Ryan Brown from Charlie Patton. So easy. That is a huge, huge goal, ladies and gentlemen.
An unforced turn by Ottawa and first throw huck for the Phoenix to put them up 6.
I think I may be safe in saying that could have been the final nail in this coffin. I do not see these guys giving up 6 goals in 6 minutes. I'm going to risk the broadcaster's jinx and just say it out loud, ladies and gentlemen. I don't see that happening today.
When Gratz High School was good at basketball, right? They would come into other teams' gyms, and when something like that would happen, the parents would all take keys out of their pockets and start jangling the keys.
That's great.
I think it's time to start the bus, boys.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Jingling
There's
the
our
keys.
keys shaking. Time to start the bus. We got Marquez Brownlee about to pull it with Quinn Hunsaker, Sean Mott, Kenny Wells, Charlie Patton, who's earned his time out there today, and Alan Hughes and Glenn Poole on defense. And this is a defense that is set to play because you know what? I think they expect to.
I think Glenn Poole and Quinn and Marquez and Mott can convert these breaks that the Phoenix are getting, man, and it's causing Ottawa a lot of problems. And this is going to be something good going forward. I'll tell you what, if you're the Empire and you got the Phoenix on your schedule,
yes, you do.
You better play your A game.
Oh,
and a big
and it is just. Wait a minute. Now see, if I'm the ref, that's a catch and a drop and a turnover by Alan Hughes, which the Ottawa players saw. But instead, Glenn Poole picks it up out to Marquez, who dumps it to Sean and goes back in the back. Oh, what a catch. A whiplash grab as he's sailing out of bounds. Marquez Brownlee from Sean Mott. Holy cats.
Marquez Brownlee needs his own cape.
Woo!
Like he's a superhero.
That is just unbelievable.
My goodness.
What a great play. I'm telling you, folks, we have a couple plays from this game that are ready for prime time. Marquez to Sean, and Marquez goes back in. Sean says, try that lefty flick. Marquez Brownlee just snatches it from the back of the end zone. What a great play.
You can hear the Sports Center theme playing as he catches it.
Catch it?
That
slow
was
motion
that was
replay
awesome.
here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see Marquez fake inside, turn out, and Sean says, there's your flick, buddy. Oh, and Marquez is absolutely horizontal, 4 feet off the ground. What a terrific catch. And we have Loiseau in the center now with Ottawa coming back upfield. I think we may have avoided the broadcaster's jinx as the lead is now 7. Ochterlony nearby here. Eric Nardelli again looking up to see what lane he needs to block. Phoenix. We have a cup zone.
Yeah, little junky
cup zone out there now. And Ottawa's having to move around inside it to get anything.
Tons of passes, wasting time. That's out of bounds.
Going out of bounds. Another unforced error this
time. He didn't
time.
even have a mark on him, and he threw that.
No, he didn't. You're right. He had no mark. He had no mark and no count, and that
should have been a flick, and he threw a backhand
Tyler Sadler
right out of
made
bounds.
such a great play earlier, just giving it up.
These are the throws that have been killing the Outlaws.
And our senior gentleman, Katzenbach, is bringing it in here off the sideline. Nice shot in the middle to Greg Martin, who just gets it away to Stephen Ing through a double team there. Stephen looking over to Trey to get it back
possession. No need to rush here at all, guys.
Katzenbach to Rosso.
Catch and throw, dump it around, maintain possession.
Back over to Robert Roos, who goes back to Rosso, back to Esser in the middle. A lot of good motion here. Ooh, Greg Martin looking end zone and waiting. Telling Sting to go the other way. Gets Steve Rosso right at the 2, who wants Robert Roos but decides against it.
That's fine.
And
little dump swing action, maintain
back
possession.
to Trey, back over to Steve Rosso. Yeah, burn clock, baby. Burn clock.
That's all they're doing. This is
Greg
great.
Martin.
This is great.
Greg Martin to Trey Katzenbach. And there it is. Trey Katzenbach down the middle to Eric Nardelli for the goal.
Trey just quarterbacked that thing in from the 20-yard line and in.
That's just a real nice play. And we have the second timeout by the Rough Riders. That's all the timeouts for the game.
The Rough Riders.
I'm sorry, the Ottawa Rough. Listen to me, the Outlaws.
Come on, the Rough
We got
Riders.
3:18 left. It's 20-12. Folks, this is a spanking. I'm sorry.
I think the CFL kicked off last night. I think
there
Hamilton
is-
and Toronto are playing. Toronto, the Argos.
I wouldn't. Well, it's still a little early for that, but I wouldn't be surprised. Ottawa circling up here. This is the.
This is a decisive win for the Phoenix.
It really is.
And these kind of wins are few and far between for this team.
I would say it's a good old-fashioned ass whipping, if we were allowed to say that kind of thing.
Dude, they come out off a tough one in D.C. yesterday.
No, in New York.
Oh no, I'm talking about the
Empire,
Phoenix.
Yes,
I'm talking about the Phoenix.
Yeah,
the Phoenix comes off a tough loss down in D.C. D.C. clinches a playoff spot. Congratulations to Darryl Stanley down there, doing a tremendous job with that team.
With the Breeze,
with
yes,
the Breeze.
sir.
And Phoenix could have really came out flat today, and they did not. I mean, Sean Mott had that big layout on the MAC to start the game, and I really believe the Phoenix has carried that through the entire game here.
I think you're right. It definitely got them juiced, and their defensive intensity has been maintained through all kinds of adversity today. And this is really critical. You can see the shift in attitude. You can just see it.
There's 3:18 left in the fourth quarter. Ottawa scored 3 times in the second half. That's
nuts.
it.
That
All right,
is
that's
just
3
nuts.
goals in the second half.
I don't think they've had a half defensively like that in 3 years.
It's definitely not since I was coaching.
Yeah.
I mean, this is really good to see from the Phoenix. And you know what I give credit to again? The downfield defense.
Yes, you're right.
You know
the
what I mean?
clogging the lanes, the forcing the worst possible option every offensive series for Ottawa.
And that's
what it's been about.
It's paying big dividends between that and the unforced turnovers from Ottawa. And this is why you get an
Marquez
8-goal win or 8-goal lead.
Monster pull, as we say in New England. Monster. Ryan Brown, Charlie Patton, we got Sean Mott, Aaron Roberts. And we're going to get a strip called on that. And maybe contact too. Yes, contact by Glenn Poole. But, hey, no one is going to hold it against him.
And you know what? That wasn't a dangerous
Kenny Wells,
bid.
okay, we got not in. He is not in. Sean Mott on defense. And there it is. Oh! He could have been somebody.
This is what happens when you don't set your feet and make good throws.
Well, that was a decent throw. I got to say, that was really just Tyler Sadler mishandling that.
That was way behind him.
Well, sure, but he got both hands
That's
on
true.
it.
If you're a professional ultimate
player. Oh, and there we have a turn by Charlie Patton. But again, at this point, we're going to forgive him that because it's so late in the game.
Good D-Mott.
And it's just inconsequential. But again, not a habit you want to develop. And the Phoenix are just, a Blady flick that is caught at the 10 by Jordan McGregor, who then pops it in.
That was a
to Cooper Brotman.
That was a shady flick, man.
Very shady. Over. Yeah, they were lucky to get that in.
It was perpendicular to the ground at one point, man.
We got 20-13, a 7-goal lead with 2:13 left. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Phoenix are bringing in their 3rd win of the season today.
Maybe I'm good luck, Bailey.
That could be, man. I'm sure they won't argue.
You know, Mr. Yonda here. Maybe he's the key.
We got Paul Klimkowski, Sean Mott, Trey Katzenbach, Nick Spiva, Quinn Hunsaker, Will Hooney, and Ryan Forster out there. The Pennsbury Quartet with Trey, Spiva, and Forster. Joining in a very nice pull that's actually going to just go out of bounds for Paul Klimkowski, who will let Nick Spiva bring the brick in. And we're happy to welcome the owner of the Philadelphia Phoenix. Ooh,
he comes bearing gifts.
St. George with pieces of pizza for the crew. Holy cats. How nice is that?
That's going to
There's a gentleman who is enjoying the game today.
Here's a deep shot.
And
an
yeah.
one.
Who threw that? Was that Trey Katzenbach? I know it was, or Quinn.
I think it might have been Quinn Hunsaker.
I think it was Quinn by the congrats he's getting over there. Quinn Hunsaker with a bomb to Sean Mott to make it 21-13. Home team.
2 minutes left. Exactly.
Just crushing it today, ladies and gentlemen.
It's nice that Georgia brings pizza, but it's tough for us to eat it when we have microphones this close to our face.
Not me, pal.
Yeah, nothing is stopping Bailey here, man. He's digging right in. Good for Bailey.
That is some good stuff.
I'm trying to have some respect for the listeners out there. And thank all you guys that are tuning in, man. This has been fun. I hope everybody's enjoyed it. It's been a great day out here at AA Garthwaite Stadium.
Alan Hewell's about to pull again with Matt Esser, Steve Ing, Charlie Patton, Eric Nardelli, Greg Martin, and Steve Rosso out there on D. And
another junky look by the Phoenix. It's been working for him. It's gonna cause Ottawa to just throw the disc around. They're not gonna get their quick shot off the.
Right. I think Ottawa has basically conceded at this point.
I think they're jingling their own keys right now.
That's right. They're trying to move the disc, but it's not.
That's not gonna be.
Luasso gives up on that. I think a little early.
They have been hanging back there.
I think he had. I think he had a better shot at that than he thought. Maybe he expected it to fall quicker or have a tailwind
but like
mash
you're saying,
or something.
Like you're saying, with an 8-goal deficit, maybe you're not running as hard.
Right. Huh?
Player of the game. Oof, that's going to be a tough one here today.
It is. We have a.
Esser's had 3 blocks.
We have a real.
Quinn Hunsinger's played one of his better games.
Oh, and Esser just snags that away from Jeremy Hill.
Will Honey's had a good game. And there's an easy one for the
big trouble.
Phoenix.
Robert Roos. Towed in for Eric Nardelli. Very nice play. Very nice play.
He was open by 30 yards. All you had to do was keep it on the
Eric
field.
Nardelli. So what do we have? Statistically, again, we have Mott with 5 assists and 3 goals. It's hard to deny him, but Marquez with 3 and 3.
Marquez with that catch.
We have Quinn Hunsaker with 3 and 3. A really great balanced attack today. Nick Spiva, 2 and 1, 2 assists and 1 goal.
You got to give it to Mott,
I think you do. He's been so effective out there. But it's great to see a balanced attack. And for Montreal, Ottawa, yes, right. Don't do that.
Everybody's been doing it. Not all Canadian cities are the same.
I don't really have the stats that I should, but
Ottawa's the capital. Come on.
There, so, I mean, I think Jeremy Hill, just because of his presence, Boucher has 3 goals. McGregor has 3 goals and 2 assists. I think you may have to go with Jordan McGregor today for them. I think you do. Though, Nick Boucher has a bunch of turnovers, but...
yeah, no, and some of them are... Yeah, I'd shy away from that choice if it was...
Yeah, no, it's...
in my opinion. What do I know? Benos has joined us in the booth and is complimenting me on my intelligence. And only the way Benos can.
That's quite all right. We have a little contact there. And a...
Oof. Not in? Oh, in.
Oh, in for the goal. Yeah, there we go.
I think it's a mere formality here. These last 18 seconds. I think Ottawa doesn't have a lot in their playbook to score 8 times in 18 seconds. That's going to be a tough road for the Outlaws. But you know, I gotta think that loss yesterday took a lot of wind out of their sails. 1-point loss up in New York, and you know that and combined with the Phoenix coming out playing as hard as they did today. I mean, credit them.
What was that score in Washington yesterday? I did not see that game.
24-17, I think.
My pleasure. And, yeah, we're going to, based on our stats today, which I have to admit, again, we're not great for Ottawa because I'm trying to do both teams. And it looks like Jordan McGregor for the Outlaws with 3 goals, 2 assists. And Sean Mott for the Phoenix with only 1 turnover against 5 assists and 3 goals. Paul Klimkowski in the middle of the field.
You got to think they're just going to hold
Nicky
the
Spiva,
disc,
Sean Mott on the sideline. Will Honey's going deep, but they're not going to burn one down there.
They got one more throw.
Yeah, 5 seconds left. And a little dump to Paulie Klimkowski will do it.
And Paulie, that's a turnover!
On that note, ladies and
gentlemen, a really terrific.
What a win by the Phoenix today, man.
22-14 victory by the Philadelphia Phoenix. Just an outstanding showing, especially, as you say, Steve.
One of their best efforts of the year.
Absolutely. After a defeat yesterday in D.C., to come back home tonight and get this kind of performance.
And avenge a loss earlier to Ottawa this year, right?
That's right. And, in a brief chat early in the game, and, we saw Colin Froats is really limping there.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Trying to get out to the line and do the handshake with the Phoenix players.
That had to hurt their chances today.
It absolutely did.
Having him on the sideline that early in the game, you know.
But to see the Phoenix come out here, and I had a brief conversation with Quinn Hunziker during the half, where he was just saying to me how great it was to be able to breathe today, with his usual allergy situation not constricting his play in any way, and you could certainly see it. 3 goals, 3 assists, and he was all over the place, getting catches over people. He had 1 small turnover that, of course, he wants back.
Well, his downfield defense is what impressed me today. And a lot of the guys with the Phoenix, they have a lot of dudes hurt. The Phoenix, but you got to like the back end of their roster coming up and coming through for them in a big way here today.
It was terrific. Charlie Patton.
Yeah, no Mike Arcata. You know what I mean? He's been a rookie of the year candidate. If you ask me, like a dark horse. I mean, this year he's really helped this Phoenix team a lot.
Even guys like Robert Rules and you had Alan Hewells with some monster pulls out there and providing some real height and great defensive coverage. And of course, as my other compatriots here from the Pensbury program are happy to point out, the Pensbury boys showed up big. Will Honey with 3 goals today. Quinn with 3 and 3, of course. Sean, our player of the game, with 5 assists and 3 goals. And even Paul Klimkowski, who got a single assist, but was really key in the midfield handling and consistency, avoiding turnovers. It's really great to see.
This team is on the rise. I mean, they really are. This season, they are really starting to come together as a group.